let's take a look at some new presentation features as well as some new tuner updates that are coming to NHL 25. So next gen characters, the next best thing to the real thing. We kind of went over some of this before when we were looking at some of the features. Introduction of Sapient technology and the power of the Frostbite on PlayStation 5 and Series S and X. All of NHL 25's in-game characters have received a serious visual overhaul, and this is kind of what it's going to look like. This is the new grudge match, right? So this is keeping hockey at its best, but the competition is fierce. The all-new grudge match system tracks the history of matches between teams across online and offline modes, showing relevant stats from previous meetings to add more context and stakes to the action. Grudge match also includes impact players who earn special X factors related to their standout performance in the previous matchups, along with new contextual-driven cinematics and commentary that turn up the heat of rivalry. So the one main thing is obviously for me, the special X factors. I feel like from an online setting, it doesn't really make too much sense to add something special for World of Shell, because you never know. Obviously, you know, when you face the same team, you may not be facing the same guys that you're playing, even though you may be facing the same team. So let's say we faced 5 guys, right? And we beat them. Let's say I got the game winner. The next time I face that specific team, I may not be facing the same 5 guys, because there's a lot of switching around when it comes to like LG or other leagues or whatever. You play with different guys. You're kind of playing with a lot of different teams. So I don't really understand how they're going to keep track of that, and if it's going to be related to the same like roster that you're playing against. And then same thing when that team faces you, because let's say I wasn't in the lineup and then I eventually face that same team again with my guys or whatever, and all of a sudden this guy gets a special X factor because he beat my team with five different guys before. I don't know. In terms of online, like HUT, it makes sense to do that if you face the same team or you face the same guy. Offline, you can do that too. In terms of World of Shell, I don't really know too much about it, if that would actually make sense. So this is what it's going to look like. The grudge match, Vancouver versus New Jersey. Kind of see Jack Hughes, he gets, I don't know what that is, and then Quinn Hughes gets the same. So it showed Jack Hughes, let me see, he scored the overtime winner in the last game, and then you have somebody else that performed on the opposite team, Quinn Hughes, 2 goals and 2 hits in the last game. I'm not sure what that is. It kind of looks like a lot like Born Leader, but it could be something completely different from that. I don't know what it's going to be. Hopefully it's not like some, like if you scored a lot of goals, you have like an increased power and accuracy on your shots. Hopefully that's not how it is, or you like hitting like if you like were hitting a lot of guys, all of a sudden you get like a truculence type effect, right? Hopefully it's not something like that, and it's something related to like just something minor, like maybe stamina when you score or you do something. It relates to that, like Born Leader, kind of how it sort of looked like it was that trait. I don't know for certain, but hopefully it's not outrageous with what it's gonna do. I do like this though. This is like it kind of gives the vibe of like a Wednesday night rivalry, sort of, but not really. This does look cool from like an offline setting. You can maybe see it looking cool in terms of online, but again, if you're not facing the same 5 guys, I don't know how it's gonna work in terms of World of Shell, but it is a cool addition, I would say. Next is an infinite camera system. The all-new infinite camera system completely revamps replays with increased variety and authenticity of angles. Those include broadcast-inspired wire, drone, and other static cameras positioned throughout the rink to capture even more of the action. So obviously a lot, you know, this is kind of cool in terms of being able to see the action more, EA, because obviously when, you know, we're playing World of Shell, even just offline, I guess any game mode, a lot of times the camera doesn't really pick up what's going on. So it's kind of cool to see, I guess, a difference here. They're trying to update that so we can actually see what's going on during replays and stuff, which is also pretty cool. Now, in terms of tuner updates, these are some changes to the goalies, the hitting, and the pressure system. So for goalies, we got general improvements, primitive save decisions and animations, improved poke check and puck cover responsiveness and situation solving. I mean, I don't even know what that means. Improvements to save motion coming from the goalpost, increased save range, including better solving. For lacrosse goals, goalies stay on their feet longer and won't drop to or stay in butterfly if they have time to get back up. Stay on their feet longer and won't drop. Okay. I I was thinking like that was tied to, you know, when you're like low on stamina, you just kind of flop over, but I guess it's actually not what they're trying to reference there. Tweaks to save and capability models, improve readiness for controlled and redirected saves, improve decision making for positioning, one-timers facing in tight shots, challenge distances. New actions added. A-Light goalies will use the spread V. Spread V. Is that like the dirty birdie type save that TBC always referenced? Usually goalies can saucer pass. I've never seen that. Isn't that what they always do anyway when they just kind of shoot it? But okay. Goalies can cover puck off teammates' stick to better protect their own goals. Cover the puck off of teammates' stick to better protect their own goals. Okay. Post-goal emotional reactions. So we did see that in the reveal trailer. Saw them like kind of hit the ice or whatever. That's okay, whatever. Pat stack and desperation save poses are now merged. So again, like, I don't know what that's gonna look like. It's kind of just up in the air. But hitting system improvements to hit alignment to ensure more consistent outcomes. Okay, new shoulder check animations from back skating. So that's different. Because a lot of times you would have to go forward for it, and every time you try to hit from like a back skate, your guy would sort of lunge forward, and you're not able to kind of like hit sideways or whatever. So I'm not sure how that's going to look. Improvements to shove and hit conflicts with shooting controls. Right, so I'm assuming that's from like the one-timer, where instead of shooting the one-timer, you just shove your arms in front and you get a interference penalty. That is good. Really good, especially if they're going to add skill-based 1-Ts. Get up time is scaled based on player fatigue and the level of hits taken. It seems like they keep saying that a lot before, right? Like, they would always bring that up. I'm not sure what more they have to do to fix that, but okay. Fatigue drain varies based on the size of the hit delivered. Again, they've been kind of saying that. I don't know if they're talking about, like, the reference to truculence versus just somebody else who's sitting with, like, high body checking or something. The bigger the hit, the larger the stamina loss. Okay. AI will now use the hip check. Okay. Especially when you tie that to empowered AI. Is that what they mean? So we'll see how that looks. And if they're just spot on every time with every hip check. I mean, that can really throw a controller out the window type thing. If they're landing those hits very consistently. Player sizes factor more into hit outcomes. That would mean that smaller players should not be able to hit anybody that's bigger than them, right? This is the whole reason why in Answer 24, everybody was small, because you could hit the bigger guys very easily. All you had to do was shove them, or you could even throw a hip check and they'd fall over really easily. And the bigger guys they didn't have something that was unique to them, that was OP for them to be a bigger build. Like, it just didn't make sense to be one. This should help balance that out, especially with speed getting a reduction as well. You can't add on the +2 speed and excel for your boost in World of Shell, hopefully, and also that with combined with elite edges being taken out. That should hopefully even the playing field, especially when you start to add some of this stuff to balance out the hitting. Bigger guys might have a bigger presence in Answer 25. We'll hopefully see. Sustained pressure system. A team that activates pressure will receive 20% increase to their on-ice player stamina meters. So I don't know how that's going to affect much, because usually when you get the full pressure activated for your team, stamina is never really an issue. It's usually for when you have it against you is when obviously stamina depletes very rapidly and quickly. I'm assuming that's just they're trying to allow the offensive team to benefit from the situation. If they're maybe in the yellow or red bar, and as soon as they get it, they can jump up, you know, to the next tier, I guess, or to the next level of like either yellow or green or something like that. I mean, 20% is not a whole lot, but it's at least something to sort of keep the pressure on. So they're trying to sort of still give something more to the sustained pressure system that has been completely nerfed to the ground ever since the start of 24. So I don't know. This is right now, like, as far as you see all this is just nothing more than a tuner update that could have been applied to any month of NSR 24. I don't think all these were that difficult, but I guess when you do combine that to the additions of NSR 25, Ice Q, you know, new gen exclusive now, old gen being dropped. So a lot of this stuff now combined with Sapient technology, whatever it is, that sort of goes together. These things are going to be in tune for that game. So it's good to see. Again, nothing like out of the park that's like really amazing that's standing out. I would have loved to have seen, a lot of people say a lot in terms of offline, they want full presentation back. So you, in terms of like how old gen used to be, old gen, where you would see both teams, you know, leave the locker room and skate onto the ice, and you know, it'd be like a longer sort of intro presentation to each game. Well, I would have loved to have seen something like that. Obviously, for online, you don't really want to see that. I think how they have it set currently, it's kind of fine. You just go in, see the ranks of the teams, and you get right to the action. I think that's perfect. In terms of offline, you should be able to have that sort of choice to put on full presentation if you want, and they should be able to have something like that. But I don't know. This is NHL 25, so I don't know what's. Maybe that's something announced for 26. I don't know if they just can't do it. But regardless, that's kind of what we have currently. So hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know your thoughts down below. Again, it's nothing too out of the park for me. Just kind of let me know what your guys' thoughts of it and what you guys would like to see, I guess, in future games. Or if you think this is enough for NHL 25. And I'll catch you guys next time.